The X-Wing is back with another early first-person space shooter, and that game is Phaser Patrol for your Supercharger. And as you can see, it actually came bundled with the Supercharger when it was released. So let's go ahead and hook up my Supercharger to my Atari 7800 Pro system and see how the game holds up today. Let's go to the game. Phaser Patrol was published by Starpath and carries a copyright year of 1982. It came bundled with the Supercharger add-on. It was programmed by Dennis Caswell, who also created the classic computer game Impossible Mission, and also made Escape from the Mind Master for the Supercharger, which I already reviewed in episode 270. The manual opens with the following. Your mission: fly your interstellar interceptor like you never flew before, because only you stand between the Drakon Armada and their cruel objective. The situation: serious trouble. The Human Federation has been caught napping. While pretending to sign a peace treaty, the devious Drakons have launched a surprise attack, and they virtually captured the Federation's farm galaxy. Victory seems so close, the Drakons can practically smell it with their hideous nostrils. One lone defender stands between them and control the human food supply. You. About your enemy. You wouldn't want to have lunch with a Drakon. They're not nice to look at, and they're very hostile. They live by raiding peaceful planets, stealing everything they can, and taking no prisoners. To make matters worse, they're absolutely fearless. The Drakon Armada. They're tough. Each Drakon fighter is armed with lethal photon torpedoes. You've got shields, but a direct hit can disable them, and a series of direct hits could reduce you to space dust. Phaser Patrol is a Star Raider style first-person space shooter for one player only, and it has two modes of difficulty controlled by the right difficulty switch. The game is harder in the A position and easier in the B position. You start the game with 1 life and almost 10,000 energy units, which is shown on the bottom of the screen. You are constantly losing energy simply by operating your ship. You also lose 15 energy units every time you fire, 100 units if you're hit by enemy fire with shields on, and 200 units if your shields are off when you're hit. If your energy goes down to 0, your game ends. The left difficulty switch brings up your sector map when it's in the B position. On the map, empty rectangles represent empty sectors. Rectangles with X's on them contain unknown contents. You can also see if sectors contain enemy ships or a friendly star base. On this map screen, you could select a rectangle to warp to, with the cost of the warp and energy units shown to the right of your energy unit counter, and press the button to warp. When you warp to a new area, any areas that touch the rectangle on the map you warp to will reveal their contents. To leave the map screen, you simply move the left difficulty switch to the A position. On the combat screen, you use the joystick to fly and press the button to fire. The color and black and white switch controls your shields, with the color mode having them on and the black and white mode turning them off. In the middle of your screen is your Torpedo Sight. If there are enemies in your sector, your rangefinder will show numbers under the sight telling you how far away the nearest enemy is. The sight will turn red when you have locked on an enemy. Firing when you have a lock on an enemy will cause your torpedo to track down that enemy. Otherwise, the torpedo will simply explode after firing, taking out an enemy only if they are near. Your instrument panel on the bottom of the screen gives you various information. The squares on the far left and right change color to indicate the current conditions, with red color indicating enemies in your sector, yellow meaning you are low on energy, and green giving you an all clear. The next section shows if any parts of your ship gets damaged after taking a hit, with green meaning that area is fully functional. The S is for shields. If it turns yellow, your shields are partially down, and red means they're completely destroyed. The C is for your computer. When it's yellow, the radar map and rangefinder will be down, and if it turns red, your torpedo tracking will be down. The L is for long-range scanners. When yellow, you will only have intermittent sector scanning, while sector scanning will completely go away when it turns red. The T is for torpedoes. When yellow, they won't explode, and when red, they flat out won't fire. Next on the panel is your radar screen, followed by a mission clock. To repair damage and refill your energy, all you have to do is warp to a sector with a star base. You don't even need to leave the map screen to do this. Your game ends once you get destroyed or once you defeat all of your enemies. You will get a rank depending on which level you reached, with the highest ranking being a hero, followed by ace, then pilot, and then the lowest ranking being a greenhorn. Whenever you destroy an enemy ship, you go up half a level. Whenever you use 100 units of energy, or whenever you use up a space hour of time, you go down 1/8 of a level. If you destroy all the enemies on difficulty B, you go up 1 level, and you go up 2 levels if you destroy them all on difficulty A. Unfortunately, there is no score indicator while you're playing. You simply have to wait until the end of the game to see your ranking. Graphically speaking, while the game didn't blow me away, I did think it looked pretty good overall, and I liked that you had multiple types of enemies to face. The game also has some really solid sound effects. Family friendly wise, this game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if it was released today. At the time I researched on eBay including shipping, one loose copy sold for $12, one complete copy with the Supercharger sold for $40, and new copies were selling for $53 to $112. So what did I think of Phaser Patrol? This is a really good Star Raider style game, and even better than Star Raiders itself on the 2600. It's not perfect, it could have used a couple extra difficulty settings, and sometimes it can be frustrating trying to hit enemies, but overall I really enjoyed my time playing this game and highly recommend it to fans of first-person space shooters on the 2600. So where am I going to rank Phaser Patrol? This is easily going near the top of the list and pretty close to Survival Island at number 2. And while I definitely recommend that Supercharger owners check out Survival Island, I think I like the pickup and playability of Phaser Patrol just a little bit more, so it's going to give it a slight edge. So out of the 10 games I've now ranked for the Starpath Supercharger, Phaser Patrol is warping into the 2 position. Phaser Patrol is definitely recommended for fans of Star Raider style first-person space shooters who happen to have a Supercharger. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please click like and subscribe, follow me both on Facebook and Twitter, and check out some of my many other videos covering retro-related video games, toys, mini arcades, plug-and-plays, and more. At this time, I'd like to thank Greg H. for supporting the show on Patreon. Thank you, Greg. You too can help support the show, gain access to exclusive content, and be able to vote on future games I review by signing up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, especially when warping into unknown sectors.